Hello, welcome to more Haskell live coding. Um, at the end of last week, got to the point where I have the API and servant, and I have some tests for it, and we have the endpoints for creating an environment and for creating a booking against that environment. Yeah, and I did some tidy up as well, so there's some refactoring of cleaning out some old code, but I'm pretty reasonably happy with where I am with the API server part of things. So I thought this week I could try and write a simple API client. And I'm going to use servant client so that we reuse the same API definition. And this should mean that we have the, like, it should mean that we can't get the endpoints wrong. Like, we're going to have to call it with the correct data. It's basically the same thing we were doing in the tests, but I'm going to turn it into a little client. I'm going to write something very simple. I think I might use parse applicative and just have like subcommands. But we'll see as we sketch it out. But that's the plan for today, right? To move to the point where we have some kind of CLI that we can use to talk to the API that we built. Okay, so picking up the code. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to run the tests, make sure that everything is still working. Let me get focus. There we go. Nothing is working because the server's not running. All right. Let me try and do it a bit better. Docker compose. Okay, that's probably going to help. So we run the tests. Oops. We run the tests again. There we go. Everything's passing. Okay, cool. So we have a working system. So I guess I'm going to split this application up. So we have the library code. I'm not sure how much we'll end up in there. And then the two executables. One for we're going to have one for running the server and one for the CLI. So perhaps I'm going to start by opening up Cabal. We have this library that we're going to reuse bits of. We have the executable, and then we have the test suite. So I'm going to put another executable in place. I might rename the one that's above. So I'm going to say executable, and we'll call this bookie CLI, and we'll put it in a new directory. I think is the way to do this. So I'll create one called CLI. Let's grab all this stuff. I'll indent this to the same level. Okay, we pulled in the base. I'm also going to use Prelude and servant and servant client. Probably don't need servant server, we hope. Yeah, let's see how we get on with that. Okay. So this should not work because I haven't got that directory in that CLI. So if I go directory called CLI and then main.hs, you can say module main, we won't export anything yet, where I guess just write an empty main. I'm going to say main equals put strlen CLI. Okay, so I'm hoping that this works. It seems like Cabal's not running. Not Cabal's, right? It seems like the HLS is not running because I'm not getting any errors in here, any warnings. And it should be upset because I have no implicit prelude. I think maybe I do have an implicit prelude. No, I don't have an implicit prelude. I haven't imported prelude, so this shouldn't be okay. Let me see if I can restart HLS. There we go. Failed to call power result calling stack. Why are we calling stack? Why are we calling stack? Oops, not that one. That one. That's probably why we're calling stack. Delete permanently. Okay, let's restart this. Still calling stack. Do we have a stack file? We do. Okay, I'm wondering get rid of that because I have been using stack, I suppose, for this, but I've kind of switched to using just cabal. Using systemc, which is probably good. I don't know why it wasn't happy. Oh, now it's giving me a different error. Okay. The IO action main is not exported module main. Does that make you happy? Okay, deleting that file seems to have worked. Right, so in theory, I can now get a new terminal and say something like, yes, we have been using stack. And we can say bookie CLI, hopefully. There we go, exciting. It printed out CLI. And then we can run bookie exe, which is a server. Okay, that still runs. Okay, next thing, let's tidy up, not that one. Let's tidy up a little bit. So this thing I want to rename to bookie server. Kind of want to change the directory that it's in. Let's find out what happens if we do that. Okay, so we have this thing called app. Rename that to be server. And here I can say source directory is server. Cool. Okay, seems loaded. Okay. Apparently I can leave this out as well. Okay, if I bring this back up, so I can now say this should fail because it doesn't exist. Oh, bookie exe is running the CLI. That's weird. Bookie CLI runs the CLI. And bookie server, hopefully, yep, runs the server. Okay, good start. So I now have two applications in the library. So what I'm going to do here is create something which will, well, I guess eventually I want something which will parse some like subcommands and do an action based on that. But to start with, I could just get it to list environments. So we just bring up the server spec for a second because it's got some of the client stuff in it. And it's really kind of this line I think that I want. So we can import servant.api, apparently. I'll refine it later. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to pull in for now is list environments. So now it's saying environment API is not in scope. And to fix that, I need to go back to cabal file again and include cookie in here, because the API is defined in this library I wrote, I hope. And there we go, it lets me import it. Cool. Okay, and client should come from servant client. Okay, good start. And I need to call it. Which was, how do we do that? Oh. So we get the URL back. Don't know what the manager is about. But we want to say run client M with create environment. Well, in our case, list environments, those needs, and what does it take at the end? Okay, client env and then the port. Okay, so let's grab that for a second. Oh, okay, so we don't have create environment, we do have list environment and it doesn't take any arguments. I don't need the brackets for that. Okay, run client M, we can import, and then this client env we need to set up. So you can say let. Why is it going very red all of the time? Client env. Let me just grab all of these. I don't know why my indentation's gone funny as well. Okay. So client env, we will not get to take a port. We will say it's running on port something. What port is it running on? My curl command will know. 8081, apparently. 8081. Okay, run out. I guess we don't need. Let's pull in these ones though. So new manager comes. Oh. Okay, where did these come from? So new manager does not come from here. It's probably this one. HTTP client. I haven't used it before. There we go. couldn't load it, it's a member hidden package. Okay, back to the Cabal file. And this one is called, going to be HTTP client. Yeah, rather unexcitingly. Okay, let's give it a second to catch up. Okay, just gonna grab those. Oops. Wow, don't know what happened there. Okay, M comes from server client, and then anything we left with this is run IO. We shouldn't need that because we're already under IO. Look at that. Okay, so in theory, we could print result. Let's give that a go. Hopefully this will fail because I can't hit the server because I'm not running it. Okay, good, I think. So we got an error. Let's run the server here. Cool, I think. So it's right, and then we get this stuff. The various environments. Okay. Success. I guess I could ship it. What should we do next? I might do parse applicative next and just start to build the command structure out a little bit. So again, back to Cabal file. Alt parse applicative. Some version. We don't mind which one it is. And then, of course, I've forgotten how to use alt parse applicative. Alt parse applicative. Quick start. It's good because we're impatient. Okay. Not a quick start because I actually want commands. Okay. So what are we going to do here? We need we need a data type for our commands. Then we have this subparser. And then somewhere up in the quick start, you can see how to use the options type. So I need to create something which returns parser options. And then it'll be options and then various command line switches, but also then the command. Okay, so you can remember all that. Well, the answer will be no, I won't remember all that. But let's give it a go. So some types in here. Why not use new type? Didn't mean to do that option. This red is very annoying. Okay, let's just go for the list, and it won't have any options yet. Oops. We'll call it list command. Okay. Oops, not that. Okay. So we got these types, and then we want to write something else called parse, I think, which will return parser options. Stop it with the red. And then we can say parse is, and I've forgotten, is it? We want this. Well, I also want to see how we do this. Okay, so it's going to be options, and we'll call that on the add a subparser thing. Okay, so we'll put in subparser, we'll put in command, we'll put in info, I need to write add command, and then I need this, and we'll get rid of the second option, and it's not add, it is list, and it'll be something like list environments. Okay, and then finally the definition of add command. Oh, that's the command that's going to run, I think. Is that right? I think it is, so I don't know what the type of add command is going to be. Each command takes full parser infrastructure. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I can try, let's just try writing and see what happens. So it's not going to be add command, it's going to be list command. So list command, I'm just going to stop LSP for a second. And then maybe start LSP and see if it stops with its nonsense. No, it will not start with its nonsense. Okay, so list command is undefined. Type A, that's really helpful. For all A. Okay. We could try something like list command IO. Couldn't match it. Right, okay. Expects parser command, got IO. Thank you. I don't know what this is supposed to do then. Okay. data same type. That's okay, we can do that. This is our parser. This is the function. This is the name of the command, I think. Info, and I don't understand what our command is here. And then a description. No, not sure I understand that. Also back to the quick start. I'm just going to grab this. Right. Let me grab the whole thing. Commands. No, I still don't see where that comes from. It's weird. Okay. Where do we get to? Right. So I was going to say this. So we won't call greet, but we'll have something like run. And we will call exec parser ops. I'll just grab this where ops thing. I've got the where. Okay. So I can get rid of this bit. And then this thing, I'll drop up here as being not greet in this case. But I called it run. It doesn't take sample, it takes options. And we say something like run options, and we think I called it list command. And here we'll just print out running list, and anything else we will put drill in unexpected. Okay. Let me just go with that for a second. Right. So exec parser. Just import sample. Don't know what that means. That comes from helper. In full description and header, I guess. Okay, so I'm not sure what sample means here. s/greet/run. Oops. Thank you. Pattern match is redundant. No, it's not redundant. What does it mean, redundant? Oh, because that's the only thing. That's actually total. Okay, it's the only possible value there. Okay. This sample. I go back to subs file. So this is the parser they're using. So for me, it was not called sample, it was called parse. Good job. Okay. Right, I'm kind of curious what happens if I compile and run it. I do have an error though, apparently. Where's my error? Can I execute hspec discover in that file? Okay, just ignore that file then. You don't have to open it. It's probably that, isn't it? So list command is just going to be the list command. I don't know what info does. Anyway, will this even run? Oh, that's kind of cool. Missing command, usage, CLI command. I haven't updated this. And there's no help for what the command is. Okay, can I say list? Running list. Okay, cool. I guess that's enough to make it work. Does this need to be a function? Okay. So if it's a list command, then we will say run list. And then we can say run list. Oops. It's going to run this under IO. And run list is this stuff that I just commented out below. Okay. So hopefully now that will just do the same as before. Cool, okay. We probably want to print this a little bit, but that's cool. I'm going to add another command, which is going to be get. Let's do the easy one for now. I don't know what info means here. I should work that out. And then we'll say nothing for say. Oh, I just put pure this command, even though it's wrong. And we can say prog desk get a single environment. Okay. Right, let's make this a bit more interesting. So we can say list command or get command So now this is no longer complete. Oh, not that. Get command. We'll call that run get. And then run get will be of type IO. We can say run get is do, and then all this stuff. Right, I think, I'm not sure yet, but I think. Oh, so get needs to take an extra argument, which is going to be the port, not the port, so the ID of the thing to get. So we want to pass it into here, and we'll just take it as an int, I guess. And for now, I'll just hard code it to be 0, or yeah, let's hard code it to be 1. Okay, so it's not going to be list environments anymore. I think it's going to be the third argument, but I really can't remember, but the compiler will know. Get environment. ID. So then we can say get environment ID there. Okay, this is a good error to get because it wants int64. We could just do that. Couldn't match int64 with client MA0 int64 to that. Wait, what? That's confusing me. I think I've got the wrong one. Let's jump to the environment API. No, it's list, create, and then get. Let me just take a look and see how I did it in the spec. So I'm calling it env_id. And env_id, I think at this point, is an int64. So it should be run client m, get environment env_id. And the client env. So run client m, get environment ID. Oh, don't call things ID. That's not cool. That wasn't error though. Okay, let's read this. So it's saying, couldn't match expected type int64 to the client, or to client m, whatever, with actual type int64 to client m, environment with status, or everything else. The function get environment is applied to one argument, but its type is sorry, I forgot this bit. That's why there's a lot of noise. Okay, so I'd actually matched everything else in the API to this get environment to all the other options. I actually just want to match this option and discard everything after it. Okay, so in theory, if I run get, it should get the first environment for me. Let's see. Right, environment status, empathy1, name is staging. Nope, this is a list. Okay, I've forgotten to do something. I kept it as list command there, so let's do the get command. Try it again. That looks better. Okay, so we get a single environment back. But what I really want to do is pass in an argument here. Okay, so commands with arguments. So I get a feeling this how's that going to work? Info. Okay, so what are they doing here? They're giving an argument, which is a string, whereas it'll be int. I don't know what this IDM means. But here, so get command won't be pure anymore. We get command to argument int. Doesn't look right, does it? What is IDM? I can import it, okay. Okay, now I don't want it to be a string, I want it to be an int, I think. So is it that? What's our example say? It's got argument str IDM. Actually, if I go back to the top of this file, there should be an example of this. So we've got str option, and a switch, and an option auto. Okay, I could try option auto. Is that right? Options are target or quiet. str option. I want some kind of num option though. I know how to run it roughly. Okay, so helper for str option, but there's no helper for int option. But they weren't using str option, they were using str. I'm so confused now. Argument parser specifies position command line argument. So takes a reader parameter, creates parser, so argument str, and then the meta file. So that's a reader parameter. Do we have an int reader? That doesn't look like it. I try auto. Okay, then it's need to say pure. I was going to say use that. Ambiguous type variable b0 arising from use of auto. Okay, so get command needs to be get command and then an int 64. Okay, and then here we can say m by d. We can run this with m by d. Okay, except it's all broken now. And it's not all broken now. So the problem before was that get command was not taking an extra parameter, I think. Okay, so in theory I can say get 0 and get 1. Let's try it. Oh, there is no 0. I can get 1. I can get 2. Cool. Look at that. Amazing. Okay. Doesn't print out very nicely, but at least it kind of works. This IDM I might get rid of and replace it with something better, which I saw a moment ago and I've forgotten where I saw it. Metaphor. That was it. So metavar, and then we give it a name, so we'll call this ID. Probably need to pull it in somewhere. Help, oops, help. No, that's the help for stack. I want help for my CLI. Okay, I'll get rid of that in a second. Usage, bookie CLI command. I need to get rid of this as well. Available option to help, and then available commands are list or get. Cool. And presumably I can't say get. Mine's help. Nope. Can I just say h command? Is it as simple as that? It is not as simple as that. Okay, I won't bother with that. That's not my aim for today. Okay, program description. CLI to manage bookings, no, environments and bookings. And the header, I might just get rid of altogether. Okay, so obviously all of this stuff is repeated. And I'm wondering how I can replace this IO with some custom type. So like CLIM. And that would be, I guess, reader T, because it always is. And then some kind of CLI environment, and then M. So data CLI environment is CLI M. Just make a record and put some stuff in it. What we put into it. So we're going to have do we want the base URL? I might just put the client name into there. I'm going to give it the wrong type just for a second. Oh, the type of all these is really difficult. So the type of get environment is this. It's got a type of int to, was it client M? Client M environment status. Is status. Put this as well. I think that's be enough for now. And actually maybe list environment we'll put in there as well. So list environment is just, I guess, is going to be client name, list of environment status. I think that's what we did. Environment with status. Environment. Is that right? Client name environment status. Cool. Okay. So we have this type. Let me grab these things. Oh, it's going to get even more fun. Okay. Need to put these together somehow. So how are we going to do this? We could say something. We can grab the options by calling exec parser. Okay, now we've got the options. On this website, so all this stuff in here is hard coded at the moment. So it doesn't really matter what's in the options. Okay, we'll get our commands out our endpoints. So we've got list environment, and get environment. Then we create our client env. It's getting messy. Then we can say CLI env. That takes client env and list environment. Just pass it in as arguments. Sorry, yeah, to a normal function rather than using record syntax. And then get environment. Okay, and that will give me the env. And then we can say run reader t. Then we'll construct this thing. Not quite that. CLM we give it the env, I think. And it needs a function. So the arguments to run reader t are reader t rma to r to ma. So the reader t rma is going to be the function we're calling, I think. The r is going to be environment. And we called something run. Okay, so now hopefully the type will say it wants reader t client env io nothing, and it's got io nothing. Options to io nothing. Wow, okay, so run options. Actually, what's the type of options here? It's just this. Okay, even better. Okay. So we can go back up to run. I'll take options to CLI appm. That was called CLI. No, it's just called CLIM. And it needs an argument, which we m in this case. And we can say again monad.io m. Because then we can lift IO, but I won't bother lifting IO at this point. Here I can change this to be monad IOM. No, it's just CLI MM. Okay, so we can say endpoint is asks list environment. We shouldn't need any of this stuff. List environment, I got the name wrong. Okay. And then client env is asks client env. Okay, and then to call this, I need to do some kind of lift IO. What's this problem now? List environments. Okay, this has gone a bit wrong. So run client m. So go client env to IO. Is that right? So for all A, client MA, client MA, in this case environment status. Then we take the client env, which is this argument, and it returns something of either client error or A. So it expects client env of A0 in this case, which is going to be list of environment status. But the actual type we got back was client env to client m environment with status. Oh, sorry, it's because it's got list environments. I want to call endpoint. Okay. I'm just wondering where that client env was coming from. Okay, it expects something of type client env. I think actual type it gets is int. Why would that be an int? Why would client env, when we say asks client env here, it's because it says an int, right? Okay, it should be of type client env. I remember now I put the int in because I didn't know what the type was. I wanted to see what the error was. But by the time I got there, I'd forgotten. Okay. So that's fixed listing it. And forget one.io so int64 to CLIM m needs more m's, right? We shouldn't need to do any of this, but we will do I'll give it that as well. I might just inline these things. So this would be asks get environment. That's the ID, and this will be asks. That constant red is very annoying. Lift IO, that whole thing. Print result. Okay, what's going on here? Redundant bracket. That's just linting, couldn't match. Int client M environment status with client M0. Expected type is that. Actual type is int64 to int to client M environment status. Maybe I was trying to be too clever here. So endpoint comes from asks get environment. Oh, for goodness sake. Why does the indentation not work? Okay. So here we should be able to use the endpoint. Okay, that's better. And then client M comes from asks client M. And we'll do that. Okay, all of that, it should be kind of the same. Basically, I'd expect this to still work. Okay, and I should be able to get 2. Cool, that works. Okay, so all of that was really to say I want to be able to centralize this setup. Yeah, so I was wondering if I could do something fancy with the options, but let's not do that. Okay, so a bit of a mess, but I can come back and have something working to start from. But I've now got little CLI that has got 2 subcommands. I want to list all the environments. I want to get a single environment. It obviously doesn't print them out very nicely. It doesn't handle errors very nicely. But the basics are there. So next week I can try and make this work a bit better and look at adding commands for creating new environments and maybe getting bookings back as well. Cool. Okay. Thank you for watching along. And then hopefully see you next week and we'll make this a little bit better. Cool. See you later.